Do you guys remember this from a couple days ago, in which police department in New Mexico served the sheriff with a search warrant, and it got a little hairy? Well, we found out what the search warrant was over.
You want to do it in there? Or you want to do what? In here? What? You still have a couple of search warrants for yourself. For yourself, please. So one on your personal cell phone, and one on your work cell phone. So those are your copies. Do you want?
Hold on to that. This was filed today.
The New Mexico sheriff trying to take over a crime scene from police in an incident that has him facing criminal charges.
You're in charge?
Yeah, yes.
Get your people back. I'll bring them in.
Bring who in?
Phil Chacon? That's who you have a warrant for?
Right.
Pull everybody out. I'll bring them in.
I don't want to pull them out.
Huh?
I don't want to pull them back.
Excuse me? I'm not asking. I'm telling you. I will bring him in. Okay?
That is Rio Arriba County Sheriff James Lujan showing up to a scene where Espanola police were trying to get a suspect to come out of a home. That scene was within Espanola city limits. According to officers, Lujan smelled like alcohol. In the video, Lujan makes it clear he knows the suspect, Phil Chacon, even waving around what he says is the man's front door key. Lapel camera from the sergeant in charge captures the officers discussing what to do about it.
But he's been drinking. I can smell it on him. Do you smell it, or am I the only one who smells it?
Yeah. Please do something about it.
Okay, we need to pull somebody over here, somebody above me, because he's already pushing his weight around with me, so.
Lujan is now facing a misdemeanor charge of resisting an officer.
You're in charge?
Yeah, yes.
Get your people back. I'll bring them in.
Bring who in?
Phil Chacon? That's who you have a warrant for?
Right.
Pull everybody out. I'll bring them in.
I don't want to pull them out.
Huh?
I don't want to pull them back.
Excuse me? I'm not asking. I'm telling you. I will bring him in.
Sheriff of Rio Arriba County is accused of showing up to a SWAT standoff, drunk, and interfering with a dangerous situation last weekend.
As our Nathan O'Neill explains tonight, that sheriff is now facing an obstruction charge.
It was a tense moment as Espanola police tracked down a potentially dangerous suspect. Philip Chacon, wanted for beating and stabbing another man, barricaded inside this home. But the Espanola police tactical team encountered an obstacle they didn't expect from a completely different law enforcement agency. According to court records, one officer recalled the sheriff of Rio Arriba County, Sheriff Lujan, was on scene and he could smell alcohol emitting from his person. He also stated Sheriff Lujan was refusing to leave the scene.
I definitely smelled it really bad.
So did I.
So,
What?
how can he?
Lapel video shows tactical teams trying to deal with a distraction.
The sheriff is here. He's trying to make us pull back, and he said he'll call him out, but we're not pulling back.
Police say Sheriff Lujan barged into the hot zone and was told to leave several times.
He's still there. Yeah, he's complaining that the chief will let him on the scene. I said, I told you not to come. He goes, I didn't say I took it over.
Court records suggest Sheriff Lujan was previously accused of helping this very same suspect evade capture in a separate investigation.
I have the key to the front door, by the way.
For what front door?
His front door. His wife gave it to me.
We tried to call the sheriff, but were directed to a lieutenant's voicemail.
I was looking to get a hold of the sheriff to see if he might have a comment about these allegations.
Meanwhile, Sheriff Lujan now faces an obstruction charge. As the investigating agency says, Sheriff Lujan's actions were not only dangerous and reckless, he created another hazard by distracting the officers on the inner perimeter. It's worth noting at least 2 judges have already recused themselves in this case, and Sheriff Lujan is expected to be arraigned sometime next month. I'm Nathan O'Neill, KOB4.
Hi guys, disorderly product news here. Reagan doing voice work for the Cop-Arazzi. In a story the Cop-Arazzi brought you a couple days ago, in which a police department came to the sheriff's department to serve a warrant. The warrant was for the sheriff's personal cell phone and his work cell phone. After an intense and somewhat angry standoff that actually went hands-on at one point, The sheriff reluctantly turned over the cell phones. Now we know why or what the investigation was about, in which they wanted a search warrant for the cell phone. This case is a couple years old, but make no doubt about it, James Lujan is still the sheriff of that county. Cell phones. It seems like this James Lujan, who is the sheriff of the county. Now think about this. He's the sheriff of the whole county. That means his jurisdiction runs throughout the whole county. A police department, I believe it was the Espanola Police Department, came and delivered that search warrant. Sheriffs are generally ranked, or they're definitely ranked higher than even the chief of a police department, because they have jurisdiction throughout the whole county, in which that chief only has jurisdiction in his town or his city. Furthermore, sheriffs are more than not elected positions, where chief of police are not. So here we go. U.S. News and World Report says this is a file picture in this October 2nd, 2014 file photo. James Lujan is sworn in by the Rio Arriba County Commissioners as the new Rio Arriba County Sheriff in Español, New Mexico. Español police said Lujan on Saturday, March 21st, 2020, showed up drunk to a SWAT standoff, tried to order the officers away, then ignored commands to leave the kill zone. Police seized New Mexico Sheriff's phones. In obstruction case, police have seized cell phones of a New Mexico sheriff accused of showing up drunk to a SWAT standoff. Español, New Mexico. Associated Press reports police have seized cell phones of a New Mexico sheriff accused of showing up drunk to a SWAT standoff. They asked him just to leave. They wanted him just to drive off. That was their solution. Oh, you're drunk. You shouldn't be here giving us orders. Get your car and leave. Oh, brother. Police have seized cell phones of a New Mexico sheriff accused of showing up drunk at a SWAT standoff. The Español Police Department executed a search warrant. Not very well. Thursday at the Rio Arriba County Sheriff's Office for the personal and work cell phones of Sheriff James Lujan. The Santa Fe, New Mexican reports. Now, the video will be in the description. You can watch that video. He gives his two phones, presumably his personal cell phone and his business phone, to his undersheriff, who leaves with the phones 3 or 4 times. Goes somewhere else with the phones 3 or 4 times. Now, let me ask you this. If the police department comes here and serves a search warrant to you at your place of business or at your home, are you allowed to hand off your cell phone to a friend of yours, a coworker of yours, while you try and get your lawyer on the phone? And the guys kind of, the one serving the warrant, stand there with their arms folded like, oh, come on, are you kidding me? This is really happening? And then the guy with the phones leaves their area of view. At one time, he goes out the side door, the gentleman in which the actual chief, Lujan, and they had to chase him around the side door. That's when they go hands-on. The Español Police Department executed a search warrant. Search warrants came as part of an investigation into a misdemeanor charge filed against Lujan by Española police for resisting, evading, or obstructing an officer. Going for search warrants on misdemeanors now. A criminal complaint filed in March said Lujan, in plain clothes, attempted to take over the scene involving a barricaded subject in Española. The complaint, written by interim Española Police Chief Roger Jimenez, states Lujan refused despite commands from officers to leave the scene. The complainant also says he smelled like alcohol and appeared to have trouble keeping his balance. You guys need to let me take over this command. How dare you? This is an order. You don't know me. Lujan told Jimenez he was communicating with Philip Chichon, the man who was the target of the SWAT standoff and had barricaded himself inside his home while officers tried to serve him with an arrest warrant, according to the criminal complaint. Philly! It's me! It's me, Jimmy! They're out here! Run! Take off! Run! I'll keep them busy. A criminal complaint filed in March said Luann in plainclothes attempted to go 9th Judicial District Attorney Andrea Reeves said Thursday there was some difficulty obtaining Luann's cell phones and that she made a call to Luann's attorney, Nathaniel Tompkins, to say Luann needed to turn over those phones. That's usually what a search warrant means. Espanola Police Sergeant Jeremy Epideca, a department spokesman, said Luann was compliant when served with the search warrant. He might not be aware of the videotape. Tompkins declined to comment. Well, there you go, guys. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Rocket and Miranda, as Rocket, my main man, gave me the lead to this story. I just want to let you know, as it says on the screen, subscribe to the Cop-Arazzi and put the notifications to all. You do that by hitting the little bell below one of the videos and then selecting all, as a lot of the backstage, behind-the-scenes footage for the I Am Essential 2 tour, starting possibly the 21st, but definitely the 22nd. We're going to New Jersey, Baltimore, Philadelphia. Channels like Chuck Bronson, Joe Kaiser will be there, and some other special guests might pop up. So stay tuned. But a lot of the background stuff will be happening on the Cop-Arazzi. But I want to ask you this. Do you think they would have treated us the same way? Do you think we would have been able to go in and out with a search warrant, calling our lawyer? Once the search warrant comes, it's signed by a judge. It doesn't matter what your lawyer says. It's over. You're taking those phones. Not only that, when he came to that scene and he was drunk, they just wanted him to leave. They wanted him to get in his car and go. That was the best case scenario. Drunk drive out of here. Well, there you go. The haves and the have-nots in the world. We are the have-nots. But only for so long, because we're standing up. We are saying emphatically, I am essential too. Who are you to tell me I'm not essential? I put food on my kids' table. I put food on my table. I pay my bills. Now let me ask you this. Since crime is down, since bars aren't open, since most places aren't open, since people aren't out, have they cut police shifts? Have they? Because the money's still coming out of the taxes. Are they going to prorate that, their salaries? Because there's no revenue being generated? Are they losing hours? Something tells me they're not. But they should. They should cut it in half. There's too many officers as there is already. Anytime you see me go into a police station, you'll see 10 officers just hanging out around the desk on a Friday night. All the time. Anyways, this is Disorderly Product News. Doing the voice work for the Cop-Arazzi. Now, I'm going to be in New Jersey first, so definitely on the 22nd. Philadelphia, probably 22nd, 23rd, then Baltimore. If you're in those areas, I'm going to be giving out my location. Come on by and say hi to Disorderly and friends. Anyways, I want to wish you and yours a happy and healthy rest of the week. Remember, we're coming to the end of this. We're going back to work. I am essential too. You are essential too, and I'm going to let them know. The East Coast will be all ship-shape by the time June comes around after Disorderly and Reagan goes out there. To all you that have been donating by buying decals, I'm going to make a video thanking you. The decals are still on sale. I'll put the link in the description. But for right now, I want to say good night.